that's called the Mobius strip, the piece of paper that if you flatten it out, there's one side and the other side, and those seem very separate.
Yeah.
But then when you bring the ends together, you have a circle. And there's nothing wrong with the circle. You can circle your wagons and take time to be in the middle and just center yourself. But your outside life is always outside that boundary. So if you take the ends of that paper and you twist it and you stick those ends together, you would run your finger around that piece of paper and discover that it's all one side. It's all one surface, and that's called the Mobius strip. It's just sort of a magical geometric shape. But it represents the concept of paradox, that life isn't just both and. I mean, life is life and death, love and loss, night and day, breathing in and breathing out. All of that is paradox. So if we can recognize that paradox is there, how can we, rather than feel polarized, look for ways to let one thing inform the other, but not feel like it has to be either or?
Mm-hmm. And that's so important these days, and I'm going to say especially in Western culture, Shelly, because we tend to put things into categories and into silos, and it's either this or that. People don't see that it can be both possibilities, and I'm going to say, and then some.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, and I think that's what creative courage is about, is the idea to move beyond our limited command and control or our fear-based understanding and make more space by adding some extra dimension, pausing long enough to reflect and say, oh, there must be another way. What could that be?
Yes, thank you. Yeah. And you mentioned 5 fingers, so what's the 5th one?
So on my thumb, and I joke about I would do this with my thumb because what makes us human is our opposable thumbs, but I would also write the word reflection on my thumb and use my thumb to point to each of those 4 fingers and reflect on true self and reflect on trust. What am I trusting or not trusting in this moment? I would reflect on community and say, where are my people? Or how could I build community or find other people to help me in a rough spot? And then I would use my pinky, thumb to pinky and say, where's the paradox? Where can I be looking for paradox right now? And then when I do that, I put both my hands together, or I even have another person who's thinking of those same 5 ideas. Put your hands together in a cup, and you can hold more complexity, or you can hold more challenge, or you can just hold each other long enough to recover and renew yourself and find your courage.
Oh, I love that, and I love the metaphor that you used of the hand. So thank you for walking through that. It's, I think, going to be very helpful to people to understand the steps, if you will, the stepping stones, and ways in which to make courage more applicable in our daily life, and how to go about doing it. I mean, it's a pretty complex thing. So I thank you for breaking that down, Shelly. Fantastic nuggets. Thanks again to Shelly Francis for being my guest today. If you'd like to learn more about Shelly's book, which is called The Courage Way, Leading and Living with Integrity, check it out at courageway.org. That's courageway.org, courageway.org. You can also sign up for a free introductory email series about the book, and you can sign up for the series on the same site. Again, that's courageway.org. If you want to explore additional resources about Shelly's book or about the Center for Courage and Renewal, please go to this site. That's www.couragerenewal.org. www.couragerenewal.org. That's Courage Renewal, all smushed together. There's no and sign in it, okay? Or and word. Just Courage Renewal, COURAGERENEWAL.org. And if you missed any part of this week's show about courageous leadership, you can listen to the podcast on iTunes, or you can catch us on Alexa or right here on Talk Network Radio. Now, before I close today's show, I just want to give a shout-out to all the folks listening all around the world. Let me tell you something. Now more than ever, the world needs you. We need your voice. And I want to encourage you to bring it, because if you don't, we will miss out on what you have to offer. We will miss out on your very special gifts that only you can bring and share with the world. You know, it's truly amazing how much impact one person can have when you lift your voice for what you care about, and especially when you do so with courage, with compassion, generosity, and integrity, and when you respect the birthright dignity of yourself and others. Now, I also want to encourage you to share the wealth. If you enjoy listening to my podcast, that's Legacy Living with Dr. Gloria Burgess, tell somebody. That's how you can help me pass it on. That's how we spread the love. That's how we can make a difference, one person at a time, one family at a time, one team at a time, one classroom at a time, inch by inch, mile by mile, and smile by smile, at home, at work, and in any area of our lives, every single day, 365, 24/7. Now remember this, how you live is how you show up. How you live is how you lead, right? And when we show up for ourselves and other people, that's called leadership. So remember this again, how you live is how you lead. Now, if you happen to miss any part of this week's show, or if you missed last week's show, you can listen to a podcast anytime. You can listen to it at your own convenience. You can even listen to it on the go. Check us out, Legacy Living with Dr. Gloria Burgess. You can listen in on iTunes or Alexa, or right here on Talk Network Radio, and that's www.talknetworkradio.com/legacyliving.html. Okay? iTunes, Alexa, or right here on talknetworkradio.com/legacyliving.html. Now, before I close today's show, I want to thank each of you for tuning in, for allowing me to share a bit about my journey with what Legacy Living is all about. Not just living and learning, but living and learning and serving, so you make a difference in your own life and in the lives of others. It's about being on purpose. Every single day, 365, 24/7, Legacy Living is one of the many ways to make your life count. Once again, I want to thank you for joining me for today's show. I'm your host, Dr. Gloria Burgess, and this has been Legacy Living, Make Your Life Count. Please join me again right here on Talk Network Radio for another show of Legacy Living, Make Your Life Count. Right here, Talk Network Radio. Don't just count the days in your life. Make the days in your life count. That's what Legacy Living is all about. Have a fantastic day, and remember, make the days in your life count. God bless you. That's our show today. I'm your host, Dr. Gloria Burgess. I hope you'll join me again next week. Until then, don't just count the days in your life. Make the days in your life count. That's what Legacy Living is all about. Here's to you. Have a fantastic day. Be sure to make it a yes kind of day. And remember, celebrate. Celebrate the music of your life. Make the days in your life count.